KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Tanu program, gold sponsors of the Guam Micronesia Island Fair. Cars Plus remind you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Prime Time, another accusation is being made against a one-to-one school aide who allegedly abused a child, this time at another campus. Plus, senators grilled the Power Authority and the Consolidated Commission on Utilities during a wide-ranging oversight hearing today. And also, one local company has been issued a notice of violation after the Guam EPA conducted an inspection.
Hafide and good evening. Another accusation is being made against a Department of Education paraeducator who was arrested for an alleged child abuse incident that occurred in April. This time, the allegation stems from an alleged incident that occurred at another elementary school.
It's been on my mind for 7 years.
According to a woman who wanted to remain anonymous, she alleges her son was physically abused by John Holy III. His name might sound familiar because on Tuesday, he was arrested by police after Upi Elementary School officials reported a case of child abuse that involved a 4-year-old Head Start special needs student that occurred back in April. That child's mother, Amy Caston, shared her story with KUAM. According to court documents, it's alleged the child was in line at lunch when Holy allegedly pulled his hair. While sitting on the floor, Holy pinched him on the shoulder, causing him to cry. Then again, while standing in line, Holy is accused of grabbing the 4-year-old boy's hair at least 3 times. And finally, Holy allegedly told the victim, "Do you wait for me to hit you before you listen?" A witness said Holy said this while he was holding a small wooden block in his hand.
When I saw the story the other day, I said, I just don't believe it. He finally got caught hurting another kid.
In this latest allegation, the woman alleges it happened 7 years ago. Her son, who was autistic, was 4 years old at the time in pre-K at Weddingale Elementary. She says she'll never forget what happened.
I arrived a little early. I was looking in the window to see what my son was doing, and I witnessed John pull my son up. My son wouldn't get up from sitting, and then he just flung him around and then dropped him like he was just nothing.
She says she immediately ran inside. She says the teacher's back was turned, so she didn't see what happened other than to hear her yelling.
We went to the principal's office and I told them what happened, and they didn't believe me. They said he had experience, he was trained, and I said, well, none of that training or experience has been used on my son. He abused my son and I witnessed it. And my son was yelling, and it wasn't enough that my son had red marks on his arm for them to even believe me. It just was so upsetting.
The woman says she even reported it to SPED, but nothing happened. She says instead Holy was moved to another classroom.
I saw him even after that, and I told Mr. John myself, I said, you know what you did to my son. You know what you did to him, and I will not forget it, and one day you will get caught.
7 years later, Holy was charged with the Upi incident. He was booked and confined for child abuse, assault, and official misconduct. Holy has been employed with GDOE for 18 years. The agency is currently conducting an administrative investigation. As for this latest allegation,
all I wanted to do was let the mother of the current child who got hurt know that her witnesses weren't just seeing things. I have been through it too, and I saw what he did to my son, and I wouldn't put it past him to hurt another child. All I wanted her to know was she wasn't alone. He did it to my kid too. And her child is also with special needs, and obviously he's targeting children who are defenseless and can't stick up for themselves.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Matanani.
On this latest allegation, GDOE spokesperson Isa Baza says they are not aware of any incident reported involving Mr. Holy 6 or 7 years ago. Department of Public Works Director Vince Ariola says this is clearly not representative of how our bus operations are handled and how we care for our very important passengers. Ariola is commenting on an incident involving 2 girls from Atacao Elementary School on Tuesday. As KUAM first reported, 10-year-old Angel Cruz and her sister, 9-year-old Raylene, told the bus driver they were on the wrong bus. They said she yelled at them and told them to get out and walk home. She dropped them off at a bus stop near 1,000 Steps. It was Good Samaritans that picked up the children and started driving to Laddie Heights where they live. They noticed the father driving around searching for his girls and waved him down. Ariola says the incident is extremely disturbing and acknowledges DPW policy was not followed. He confirms that when a student boards the wrong bus, they are to be taken back to their respective school or to the nearest mayor's office. Ariola and DOE Superintendent John Fernandez have apologized to the children and the family. Ariola says a full and thorough investigation is being conducted to determine if disciplinary action is warranted. He adds the incident has his highest level of attention. GPA and the CCU were on the hot seat today as senators held a wide-ranging oversight hearing that covered everything from controversial pay raises for senior management to how the power company plans to reduce customer utility bills. Kicking off the hearing were questions about the executive pay hikes and bonuses handed out during a November executive session, which the AG later declared in violation of the open government law. CCU Chairman Joey Duenas took the blame, but does not rule out reinstating the rescinded raises.
I don't think the CCU has any plans right now, but I would state to you that I, and I believe the other commissioners, would state that the action we took was a good action. The process was where we went wrong. I think in the future, we might go back. I can't speak for the rest of the commissioners. I would tell you that I still value the top management and would go forward and say, yeah.
In fact, GPA is planning to raise all employee wages. Its goal is to get them to within the top 50% of the industry standard. There are some management level employees now at the 25 percentile, but most are at 15%. Duenas says that's because not everyone is the same.
If you're looking for linemen, they may be easier to find linemen or to train them, but to find assistant general manager of operations is a little harder to find. So to retain those people, you have to pay them.
On another issue, GPA General Manager John Benavente says with the construction of a new baseload generator and by increasing renewable energy to 160 megawatts, it will further reduce power bills.
By 2021, the price of energy for the consumer is going to go down based on burning ultra low sulfur diesel and the renewables, and then it will go even further down if we convert to if we added natural gas.
But while the plan calls for an increase in utility-grade solar, GPA wants to phase out the residential solar net metering program because as it grows, GPA says it is not able to recover its full costs. But Power and Utilities Committee Chairman Clint Rigel is pushing back, citing a consultant's report to the PUC, which oversees utility rates.
Their recommendation was to, quote, continue to support the legislature's policy-based decision to encourage the growth of renewables at the customer level and to, quote, reject GPA's proposal.
Not one point in that report addressed whether our costs and our numbers or anything are really flawed or in fact are in fact wrong, and make a recommendation on that. So really, we had that report, but they really didn't bring any substance.
GPA's petition to phase out solar net metering and charge customers for avoided costs is pending before the PUC. In other news, Henry Alvandia was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison in the district court this morning. He received a reduction in his sentence because of his cooperation in another federal case. As we reported, the former customs officer played a major role in the federal drug case against Ray Martinez and Juanita Moser. It's believed the couple trafficked in at least $6.3 million of the drug ice. They recently pleaded guilty to drug charges in the state of California after 2 mistrials in Guam. According to Alvandia's attorney, John Gorman, they are requesting that he serve his time at a federal institution in the state of Oregon. He will self-surrender. Additionally, Alvandia will have to pay $29,000 in restitution. In 2015, the former customs officer, along with several other government officials, were indicted for accepting kickbacks and bribes from local businesses. The other 9 co-defendants in the case pled guilty and were sentenced. Derek Evan Hills has been arrested again, this time for allegedly making a false police report. According to court documents on Tuesday, police responded to a report of a burglary at his home in Agate, but Hills gave conflicting oral and written statements. Hills told police that he saw a skinny man named Benjamin Cruz break a window to get into his home and that his wallet, passport, and some prescription medicines had been stolen. He added that Cruz fled through the same window. Police, however, noticed the window was broken from the inside. After questioning him, Hills allegedly changed his story, admitting that he broke the window because he had locked his keys inside the house and didn't want his mom to get mad that he broke the window. He also admitted that Benjamin Cruz was nowhere near his home. Hills has been in and out of court multiple times over the past several years. In 2018, he was arrested on multiple charges, including impersonating a police officer. In 2015, he was also busted for forging prescriptions to obtain Percocet. The Guam Environmental Protection Agency has issued a notice of violation which orders a local company to pay up.
Smithbridge, Guam, busted by the Guam Environmental Protection Agency.
The good news is the respondent is working with the agency to come back into compliance.
The not so good news?
In the inspection and the case development, it's been determined that a penalty order of not more than $125,000 will be assessed.
According to Guam EPA spokesperson Nick Lee, it was on April 2nd, staff from the Guam Environmental Protection Agency's Water Pollution Control Program conducted an inspection of clearing and grading Smithbridge was performing along the back road to Anderson.
So the program in their inspection found that this activity was taking place without a permit. There were also observations made where best management practices weren't being implemented.
Smithbridge's permit had actually expired in January of last year. The company was ordered, 1, to cease all work, 2, apply for an after-the-fact permit, which it did on April 10th, and 3, take corrective actions such as installing a silt fence and temporary sediment traps. Those measures are necessary to control any potential impacts to the environment. As for the penalties, Guam EPA proposed a fine of $2,000 per day per violation from the date the permit expired or January 10th to the time Smithbridge applied for a new permit, which was April 10th. That's 455 days.
When you add it up, they would have owed $910,000.
That's correct.
Because of Guam administrative rules and regulations, Guam EPA only fined $125,000, which was the maximum penalty that was authorized. Smithbridge, meantime, has filed a notice of appeal with Guam EPA requesting a hearing and admitting to the accusation in part.
Lee adds that all other Guam EPA permits issued to Smithbridge are valid, and the company has been proactive in complying with their orders. Lee adds the company has since requested to meet with the agency's administrator to ensure that they can take the next steps toward resolving the violation. Last week, we told you about an OPA appeals claim filed by Rex International, who is seeking payment for constructing the GAC's Tizen campus. Julia Santos has an update.
The Guahan Academy Charter School has been doing what it can to address outstanding obligations and payment issues. According to GAC's Board of Trustees Audit Committee Chairman Al Urquiza, the charter school has been addressing their funding issues and that their legal counsel is managing the larger debts, like the one with Rex. Urquiza says that the holdup is due to technicalities that are causing delays in GDOE's review of the procurement contract with the construction company. He says that GACS is doing what it can to meet their obligations.
We're not trying to avoid the issues and paying all our vendors. There is a payment plan ongoing and confirmation letters in which some of the vendors, or most of the vendors, approve already.
Urquiza says that the issue is not a lack of funding. Rather, it is an issue of obtaining the monies. He says GACS has been transparent with all the challenges and that Rex International is aware. However, due to the lengthy time for remittance, the contractor is using the OPA appeal as a mechanism to expedite the process. The audit chair says the money is there. The problem is the school can't access it without GDOE's approval.
By law, has the right to review our procedures, procurement procedures. The question there is, they went beyond the scope of the review, which also further delayed the payment. One of the biggest issue was, as an auditor, you're supposed to provide some assistance solutions, and we always ask for that. However, they just cite the law. but there was no recommendations as to what to be, done.
Urquiza pointed out that GDOE does not have the authority to withhold the funding for GACs, and a loophole in the review process of the charter school's procurement has stifled the flow of funds. The loophole being that GDOE has not approved all of the contracts for procurement, nor did they provide any viable solutions for the school to get approval. For now, GACs will have to work with the existing funds they have. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Julius Santos.
And late this afternoon, GDOE spokesperson Isa Baza released the following statement. GDOE is tasked to review and validate charter school funding. The charter school law also does not allow for public funds to be used for charter school capital improvement projects. GDOE will not validate requests that do not comply with local law. Due to this legal requirement, the Rex International invoice was not validated. GDOE does not withhold charter school funding and only has the authority to verify charter school invoices and review procurement records to support those invoices. She adds the Department of Administration has authority over charter school funding and can make the decision on whether or not to release funds. It's a popular two-month shop with a brand that's been around ever since, but it's the first time something like this has happened, and the details are quite explosive.
Carlo Dela Cruz and staff at the Fuckeye shop were having a blast.
You guys are just kind of like hanging out, rolling it around.
Yeah.
You see, it was 2 weeks ago a man who came from the beach brought in a different kind of shell.
We were told it was an inactive grenade, and he just thought, hey, this looks cool. You guys want it? And we were like, yeah, it looks like it's from the war or something. It's all rusted out.
The Fuckeye crew had fun with it, took some cool pictures, didn't think anything of it. That is until another person walked into the shop.
Some guy in the military looked at the grenade and said, I think that's still live.
Playtime's over.
We called EOD, and here we are.
Guam Fire first on the scene. The entire Tumon strip mall was evacuated as EOD arrived. About an hour later, the all-clear was given. According to Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense, if you come across an unexploded ordnance or munition, practice the 3 R's. Recognize the fact that they're dangerous, retreat and don't approach, touch or disturb it, and report it immediately.
It's a rusted out grenade, so we didn't think anything of it.
The EOD determined it in fact was a live grenade, but didn't pose a real threat. Unless it was in a fire, then it would explode.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
We are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
Now on Guam, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for limited time at KFC.
I am duck winner.
I'm a boarder.
I'm a golfer.
I'm swimmer.
Say neighbor.
Teray is a proud sponsor of
Special Olympics Guam.
Let me win. Can I win?
Let me be brave in the attempt.
Make a difference in an athlete's life. Be a part of Special Olympics Guam.
Keep our dreams alive.
Get involved today.
Legends aren't born, they are made. And during our Jeep Celebration event at Cars Plus and Mighty, you'll receive up to $6,000 in accessories with the purchase of a new Jeep Wrangler, Motor Trend SUV of the Year. Customize your new Jeep to the way you want it. Or how about a new Jeep Grand Cherokee? Save up to $5,000. Or save up to $7,500 on a new Jeep Compass Sport. It's our Jeep Celebration event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Guam is gearing up to host delegations throughout Micronesia for the 31st Guam Micronesia Island Fair. At a press conference Thursday at the museum, the Guam Visitors Bureau announced that our island's capital will be the center of the festivities. Representatives from Chuuk, Pohnpei, Kosrae, Yap, Palau, Rota, and the Republic of the Marshall Islands will come together to share and highlight our cultural traditions. Activities at the GMIF will include a Hafaday Kids booth, traditional arts and crafts, the Guam Nurserymen's Association, among others. Vendors who have signed up will be selling food and confectionery items, as well as local art and more. The entertainment lineup will feature our island's local talent, as well as the Guam Chamorro Dance Academy, which is aggregate of the Chamorro diaspora living in Japan. GVB President and CEO Pilar Laguana expressed her excitement about moving this signature event to the Plaza de España.
This is a great opportunity for us to not only use Plaza de España, but the entire Hagåtña. We're really expanding the area of usage to showcase and to just bring top of mind what value our capital brings.
The fair kicks off Wednesday, May 29th at 10 a.m. and continues through Sunday, June 2nd. Wednesday was National Maritime Day. The governor signed a proclamation at a brief ceremony at Adloop, which honors mariners, the men and women who work to transport billions of dollars of goods and materials every day. During wartime, they are called on to sail into combat zones to deliver supplies and weapons to fighting forces. Commanding Officer Ted Hubner of the Navy's Military Sea Lift Command.
Dangerous life as a mariner has been in the past, and that's why we recognize them, often referred to recently as the nation's fourth arm of defense, and literally the most dangerous military branch to be a part of during some of the wars. 1 in 5 U.S. Navy ships are actually military Sea Lift Command ships, all crewed by mariners. So they are hugely important to the future of the Navy.
National Maritime Day was established by Congress in 1933 and is celebrated every year on May 22nd. Construction is underway for a medical training facility at Andersen Air Force Base. The 495 square meter building is the first for the 264th Aerospace Medicine Flight of the Air Force Reserve. It will be located near the existing medical and dental building at Andersen. The $4 million contract was awarded to Reliable Builders, Inc. The project is set for completion in March of next year. Relay for Life is tomorrow evening at the George Washington High School track, and one of the teams that will be out in full force is Team Frankie. Their tonight's profile of hope.
Josh Paulino is a member of Team Frankie.
Team Frankie is in honor of Frankie Perez, who's actually been one of my best friends for many, many years. Frankie was diagnosed in September of 2014, and then so the team was created the following in 2015, in time for Relay for Life.
The team is made up of family and friends whose lives have all been touched by Frankie. Together, they have not only made it a point to raise funds for the American Cancer Society, but also spread awareness.
One of the biggest things that has come from it is, the following year, Frankie was actually designated as a hero of hope for the American Cancer Society. And, I think this is one of the big things that we could have got out of it, because he can share his story and his message.
Paulino says sometimes there can be a stigma of cancer where nobody wants to talk about it and would rather be private.
But I think the more information we can get out to the community, we can let them know that they're not alone, that there are other people. Unfortunately, on our island, statistics show that we have a new diagnosis almost every day of cancer, and we lose someone every other day.
Along with being a member of Team Frankie, Paulino is also the event lead for this year's Relay for Life.
When we have that survivor lap, when you see all those survivors dressed in purple, whether they were just diagnosed last month or they've been a survivor for over 25 years, just to see them on the track, and then for them to know that, we're there cheering them on, that their community is here for them.
This year's theme is Once Upon a Time. So what does Paulino envision as his happily ever after?
My vision of happily ever after is we don't have to do relay anymore, that we will find a cure for this disease, and we will never have to, no one will ever have to hear the words, "You have cancer," again.
And as event lead, Paulino wants to invite everyone to come out and support this year.
I just want people to know that, this is a community event. Our community is very blessed. They are a very generous and giving community. Last year, we were a top 10 event in the nation. More than 3,000 events throughout the United States, and we were a top 10 event. It's just a testament to our people and our island.
Sports is next. Keep it right here.
Yo, Jay, you sure you want to be washing your car right now, man?
Not now, Kev. I'm watching Betsy, and she has to be spotless, bro.
Clouds are coming in fast.
It looks fine to me. Look again. It looks fine, Kevin. It looks fine.
You know what makes more sense than Guam's weather? Using your Bank of Guam credit card at any Shell station to save 6% on gas purchases. Call, click, or visit for more details. Make more sense. Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Member FDIC.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Turn up summer with Minute Maid Slushies, only at McDonald's. Enjoy 3 refreshingly chill flavors, new sweet peach, blue raspberry, and fruit punch, while summer lasts.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We're going to hear from newly elected IIAAG President Terry DeBow in just a bit. But first off, this week's Gatorade Game-Changer. Check it out. IIAAG Boys High School volleyball star Aiden McDonald has quite a few choices when it comes to playing sports at the next level. Aiden has played baseball, basketball, and volleyball for the Friars since he was a freshman. Out of all 3 sports, he says volleyball has been his most favorite. The senior outside hitter currently has 50 schools interested in his athletic ability.
Volleyball would be my favorite sport because just the team, it's a team sport. A lot of talking, which I like to talk, and just the boys I'm playing with now in the background, they're just my brothers, so they make the game more fun.
This season has been the icing on the cake for Aiden's high school career. 3 consecutive first-team All-Island nominations for outside hitter, along with an undefeated regular season. Aiden recorded 16 kills when the Friars faced the Teason High Titans in a battle of undefeated teams late in the regular season. FD only lost 1 set this season. Heading into the playoffs, McDonald was selected as the league's MVP.
MVP is great, but just FD itself, we're just looking for the championship.
The Friars claimed the IIAAG Boys High School volleyball title with the 3-set win over the Harvest Eagles. Aiden put down 15 kills as the FD Friars won their 3rd championship title in the last 4 years. McDonald has also stepped onto the court representing Guam for the junior national volleyball team, where the team won the gold medal in Palau. Aiden also received word that he will be suiting up as a member of the men's national volleyball team for the Pacific Games scheduled for later this year in Samoa.
Once you put that on, it's a different type of hype. It's a great feeling knowing that you're representing your island. Well, it was actually my first year traveling for volleyball and winning gold for volleyball as well too. And with the boys that I went with, we clicked right away, so they were just like brothers to me already.
Picking up trash and delivering chairs to and from houses during rosaries has been the norm for Aiden growing up. His family has been serving the people in Agana Heights and in the village of Dedido for several years.
Of course, just carrying the last name, McDonald, It's a big family name in Agana Heights, so whenever they need help with like rosaries and picking up trash, we would be the ones to help and offload and do all of that. And then another last name, Beneventi in Derrida, which is a big last name. Same thing as well, with animal issues, we just help them out.
He's made a name for himself on the court, on the diamond, and on stage with FD's choir. He's a model student at FD, going out with a bang his senior year. Aiden is a contributor on and off the court, and that's what makes him a Gatorade game-changer. Newly elected IIAAG President Terry DeBode of Father Dueñas says it's going to be business as usual for the IIAAG. DeBode wants to ensure parents and athletes that the IIAAG's interest is on the students and will continue to provide great athletic sports competition opportunities.
I think that IIAAG in the last few years especially, we've seen a record number of our students, of our participants, move on to higher levels of athletics, and I'd like to see that trend continue to grow. I mean, whether it be in international sports representing Guam, or whether it be as they continue to pursue higher levels of education that they can represent our island at a collegiate level, it doesn't matter. I mean, just as long as we provide them with the tools so that they're prepared to reach those new heights.
.180 pulses per minute. That's the rate of your heartbeat when you were born. And as you grow up, you'll get to meet your awesome crew from over 164,000 people on this island. Together, you'll explore some of Guam's 210 square mile land, where you'll get to enjoy hundreds of things to do, from climbing the highest mountain and more, to exploring the deepest trench and more. But that won't be enough for you, so you'll travel more than 1,000 miles to experience 1,000 more things, in more places where you'll meet more faces, until you meet that one person with whom you'll be doing 1,000,000 more things with, until you bring another heart that would beat 180 pulses per minute, and we'll be there, giving you more data for more of those experiences.
Triple J says yes. Easy financing? Yes. Easy trade-in? Yes. Fast and friendly? Yes. Find the car of your dreams like our Mazda CX-3 at only $19,995 or the Honda HR-V at only $180 per paycheck. Get top market value on your trade-in, explore payment options that work for you, and get pre-approved instantly. We'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Triple J says yes. Just click, pick, drive, and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today. Triple J, customers first.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, it's a happy birthday to Dora and Jesse Garrido, wishing my husband and myself a happy birthday. You are my soulmate, love, sweetie. That's nice. Corey Metanonia has a birthday today and wishing you many more blessed and happy years from your loving husband, Andrew, your sons, Isaiah, Bryson, Rowan, Brother Boone, and Mom, as well as your extended family. Happy birthday to you. Yoshiko Uggan has a birthday today, so a very happy birthday to you, Yoshiko. Papa John and Lynn, happy 75th and 31st birthday to grandfather and granddaughter. God bless you both with many more, says your loving family. Happy birthday number 15 to Justin Kirigua. May you be blessed with many more years to come. We love you always from the Taimangulo clan, Mom, Dad, Justice, Janicia, Gina, and Jusar. Happy birthday to everyone.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. And that'll do it for us here on the news desk. But stay tuned, Breeze next with Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.